Hey everyone, welcome to Ministry Seminar. My name is Frank Marco. I will be your professor for this class. And I call it a class in air quotes because technically it's not really a class. It is something you're enrolled in, but really this is to facilitate your attendance at a conference of your choosing. So I'm the professor, but I'm really just kind of like a record keeper and making sure that you guys do all your work. The actual class will be at the conference that you attend. So without any further ado, I think the first thing you need to do in order to understand this class, and I use that in air quotes, is to read through the course syllabus. So if you haven't already done that, please take a moment right now and read the syllabus, and then come on back and watch the rest of this video after you've done that. So hit pause, and when you're all done, come back and re-watch this video. Okay, did you read the syllabus? Good. Then hit play and watch the rest of the video. Okay, now, if you saw in the syllabus, and by the way, I have it over here, so if I'm kind of looking off the frame, I know it looks a little goofy, but that's just kind of the way I roll here in my studio, aka my living room. Yeah, you're probably thinking, boy, it's a good thing we're not taking a class from this guy. He seems like a nutcase. All right, so I'm going to be looking over here just to kind of go through it. I'm not going to read through all of it. I'll read through parts of it, but you guys know how to read, and you just told me that you read, so that I assume that you read it now. So I'm just going to kind of hit the high points and let you know what you need to do to fulfill the requirements of this class. All right, so course description: participants will experience a conference designed for leaders and vocational pastors. Experience the value of such a conference by setting aside time devoted to the purpose of professional development, retooling, and refocusing, all with passion and purpose. Students will find a suitable conference in their local area, submit to their academic advisor for approval prior to attending, and submit proof of attendance once the conference is completed. Okay, so really this class is here to facilitate and ensure that you attend a conference, a suitable conference in your area that you can attend that will help you really to grow personally, professionally, as a minister, as a leader, and that's really what it's designed to do. Now, you might be saying, well, what kind of conference can I choose? Well, anything related to ministry is going to be suitable for the most part. It does need to be, a reputable conference. It can't be like, you sit down with your pastor and, he reads some sermon notes to you. That's not really a conference per se. It needs to be something that has some noted speaker put together by a, reputable, more or less, organization. And it also needs to be approved first. So if there's some conferences in your area that you're thinking about, submit that to your academic advisor. Let him or her approve that as a suitable conference to attend for points for this, and then that'll be fine. All right. So there's a lot of latitude on this. It really can be something of your choosing. Now, it might be a bigger conference. I mean, maybe you're going to go to one of the bigger national conferences that are held around the country, and you're really into it, and it's in your area this year. That'd be great. I mean, it's really, up to your discretion to choose the conference. It just needs to be something ministry related or something related to you and your vocation, and that you feel is going to be substantial and help you, and really something that aligns with the goals of the program here at the King's University. Now, in terms of the requirements for this class, there's a few things that you need to do in order to have everything fulfilled. So let's go ahead and look at the course assignments, all right? The first is obviously the conference attendance and documentation. All right, so you need to attend the conference. And by the way, this is something that you're going to pay for separately. It's not part of the tuition of the King's University. And you have to submit some proof of attendance, all right? So this can be your registration form. It can be a receipt. Something like that. Now, I thought about, asking you to submit a picture, at the conference with a newspaper, in front of you showing the date or whatever, but I thought that was kind of corny. But we will be having a discussion board, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and that would be fun, actually, if you post a picture. So do take pictures of yourself, take some selfies, right, in front of the big conference banner, or maybe you can even get pictures with one of the conference speakers. That would be a lot of fun. So we want to try to engage the class here, at a distance as much as we can, and let people, sense the essence of the conference and see you having fun there. Maybe you'd even want to post some video if you took some great video, maybe just, kind of short Vine, Instagram style videos of some highlights, or maybe you'd even want to compile a video afterwards of some highlights. That would be great. Totally optional, but if you want to do that just to let the other students know what it was like to be part of that conference, that would be great. Okay, so by the way, there's a place in Blackboard for you to submit all these assignments. I just have one assignment link. By the way, the Blackboard course, you probably see it's very simple. There's really no weekly lessons. There's an info page, there's a discussion board, and there's the assignment place, and then of course the regular kinds of course tools. So there's a place in there in the assignment tab for the various assignments required in this class. So the proof of attendance, you can submit it there. What you'll have to do is, take a PDF, scan it and send in a PDF so that I can see that and say, yeah, he or she went. Cool. Okay, the next requirement is a book critique. Now, you might be saying, well, what book should I read? You can choose the book. It should be something that's related to the conference. It could be something written by the conference speaker, by the head speaker, one of the speakers, plenary speaker, or maybe a conference breakout session you went to, and you said, oh man, this guy was great. I want to read his book. And so you go to the conference table afterwards and you buy it and you have him or her sign it, and then you go home and you read it. All right, so that would work. If you have any questions, if it's a suitable book, please let me know. Maybe you're at the conference and you're like, here's the book, Dr. Marco, what do you think? I'll be glad to get back to you as quick as I can. I know you're at the conference and you need response quick, but you can text me if you like. My number is on the top of the syllabus, and I'm a texting kind of guy, so go ahead and text me and I'll let you know. But let me just say generally about the book. It should be substantial, all right? So don't pick like the smallest, thinnest book you see in the book table. Look at this one, it's like 15 pages, man. I can read this like, on the ride home or something. Don't do that. We want this to be a learning opportunity, so pick a book that's substantial. Right now, there's no page count per se on the book, but we do hope that it is something substantial that you actually can learn something from it, right? Not just kind of fluff to take care of this assignment. It needs to be like a real book, you know what I'm saying? All right, enough said about that. The next assignment due for this are what we call session briefs, all right? And this is basically some sort of written reflection of your time there. And typically when you go to a conference, you'll take notes. And again, as students, I hope you guys are always doing this, taking notes. I've got like pages and pages, and now I use my iPad, but I'm always taking notes at conferences. Not that I ever look at them, but it's good to engage your mind and to reflect while you're there. And, I'm half kidding. I have looked at them in the past, say, oh, I remember that. That was really important, especially immediately after the conference. You're going to be thinking about those ideas, and you're going to be saying, what did that person say? Conference notes are great too. I always have a page in my notes just for like connections and networking, because one of the great things about conferences, in my opinion, really is the people that you meet. And so you're going to meet lots of like-minded people. You're going to be exchanging business cards and whatnot. So keep a file of everybody that you meet. When you come home, and you'll have like 5 or 8 or 10 people and say, man, I met this person, I got their email, or maybe their contact information is in the back of the conference proceedings. Sometimes they'll list all the participants. Kind of depends on the type of conference. If it's a professional conference, they'll typically do stuff like that. So anyhow, getting back to this assignment. So what you need to do is pull together a summative paper at the end, 2 to 4 pages. What you can do is just kind of have paragraphs for each different session that you went to, so plenary speaker, John Doe, this was the date, and this was his topic, and this is what he said, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what you need to do to that. And then there's also should be like a summary section at the end. And this should be something that kind of intentionally reflects upon, how the Lord spoke to you through the concert, how it kind of renewed your vision and passion for a particular topic. So if it was a missions conference and the Lord just cracked you across the head and called you to North Africa, or Iraq, or wherever the Lord calls you, then, reflect upon that, because we don't want this just to be an academic assignment, right? We want this to be something that's kind of feeding your soul and encouraging you and giving you vision and passion and, direction for your future ministry, right? So whatever kind of spiritual work that's going on in your life, talk about that in your paper. And then the last assignment is a discussion board. And this isn't going to be a real intense assignment. There's basically 2 things to do in this discussion board. I want you to introduce yourself. Just do that by the end of the first week of class or so. And then when you're getting ready to attend the conference, once you've selected it, I want you to post the conference, and there's some details in there like the name and place and the theme and why you chose this particular conference. And then go in and participate. Respond to at least one other student. You respond to everybody if you want, but at least one other student. Say, hey, that was a great conference. I went to that last year. You're going to really enjoy it. Just a little bit of connection, to the students. Again, I know this is not really a class per se where there's a lot of engagement, but at least so you can know what other students at TKU are doing, what kind of conferences they're attending. And who knows, somebody might post it and say, wow, I didn't even know about that conference. That's great. I'm going to check it out. And then you end up going, and then you guys like meet face to face. You're like, wow, we're in the same class together at the Kings, and here we are at a conference. Isn't this great? All because of the discussion board that Professor Marco posted there. Thank you. You can thank me. You can bring me a gift, send me whatever, just kidding. Okay, so that's about it. And then there's the weighting of the course assignments right there. You can see that in the course syllabus, et cetera, et cetera. And then the usual policies regarding late work and plagiarism and all that kind of stuff. So that's about it. Like I said, this isn't your typical class. This really is just a way to facilitate and ensure that you attend a conference in your local area that's meaningful, beneficial, exciting, impacting, dynamic, and all those kinds of fun things. I really hope you enjoy your conference. I look forward to working with you over this semester and to help you and facilitate this whole process. I'm not going to be posting a lot of content. This is probably going to be the only video that we have in the whole class. So get a good look at this mug, because this is really all you're going to see. But I hope you enjoy the conference. I hope the Lord leads you to the perfect one. I hope He blesses you and makes this a really impactful time in your life. And just kind of one more side note. I've been in ministry for a long time. I've been in education for a long time. I try to go to a couple conferences a year, and I think they're great. Not just because they're going to fulfill this requirement, but again, as ministers and as leaders, we need to get in touch with other people in our field. Going to school is great, and you're going to meet lots of great people. Conferences is a different way for you to develop as a professional, as a leader, and as a minister. You're going to meet people, you're going to get ideas. They really keep us sharp. We kind of hear some of the latest and greatest. We get to hear firsthand from some really important authors and speakers and those kinds of things. So hopefully, if you've never been to conferences before, this kind of gets you in that loop and get you connected with some people and some organizations that can really have some impact in your life. So I really, again, it's not just an assignment. This is kind of a pathway into something that as a professional per se, you want to be involved in. This is the kind of activity that you need, that we need, Lord, right? The Lord uses these things to help kind of, keep our fires burning and keep our thoughts going. And once you're done with school, you can continue on and go to these kinds of conferences. I've been going to some conferences now, same conferences for, 8, 9 years. I mean, and you meet people. And I have friends, they're kind of like my conference friends. And I only see them at these conferences, but I have a relationship with them. It's great to reconnect with them. We email, you know what I mean? We kind of help each other at a distance, things like that. So conferences are a great way to kind of keep your professional network, so to speak, going. So I encourage them beyond just the scope of this class, and hope that you enjoy whatever conference the Lord leads you to and enjoy participating in this class. All right, that's about all I got to say. So peace out, blessings to you. Marco, done. See you online.